Here's our sapphire after shaping into a hexagon on the 600 topper lap. And I just put in a 6-degree angled facet around the outside, flattened up the face. As you can see, there's a couple of thin areas on the girdle here. In retrospect, I probably should have angled the stone a little bit more when dopping it up, just to get it a little more uniform thickness all the way across. As you can see, the top is thicker than the bottom right now. It really shows up there. There's that angled face that is going to be the thinnest part of the girdle. There's the hexagon shape, in case you don't know what one looks like. And since this is my first time doing a portrait cut, I'm just kind of eyeballing it, freeforming it here. Maybe the top will have a couple more rows of facets, but I'll probably just do a step cut on the top, similar to what I did here on the bottom, but just another row of facets, basically. Here's where we are after the 1200 grit lap, ready to go to final polish. The stone's going to be just about 5 millimeters from flat to flat. Facets are very subtle on this, so you can barely see it at the top and I think top right. You can see those lines kind of in the quarter of the way down from the outside. Here's the pavilion, such as it is, all polished up to 50,000 diamond. You can see the light kind of playing across the surface here. There's pretty much just a table with facets, one row of facets going around the outside. And I may make the other side a little bit steeper if I can, just to give it a little more dimensionality so it's not totally flat. But with a portrait cut, the thing you want to do is focus on, make the window nice and big, because that's the point, is to have kind of that see-through thing, which is totally antithetical to most faceting where you want to avoid windowing like the plague. Now it's time to transfer this, and I think I'm going to do the hybrid dop method of both wax and super glue, which I showed on my previous video, the Harbor Coat video, where you make a cold impression in wax and then take out the stone, put some super glue, and then put the stone back in. This is the simple design that I'm going to go with for the top or bottom. I don't know. It's going to be a little deeper than the other side, so this is probably the top. You can't really see it, but there are 2 rows of facets on the side there that are in the shadow, whereas the main table, which is the bulk of the top or front, is that's the big part here, and there's just a little bit of flare on the sides. Also, this is my first portrait cut, so I don't really know what I'm doing and just making it up as I go along. Here's the portrait cut, finished and polished to 50,000 diamond. Definitely dirty on the outside still. Gotta find a good way to clean them. I don't think this is gonna be a go-to design for me. It does go pretty quick, but I don't know, something about it. It lost the color. This used to be a pretty nice blue, but now it's pretty basically clear. That could be just the design, and I also did cut it very thin. You can see a little poking out of there around the tweezers. If I left this thicker, maybe it would have some color in it still, but because of the geometry, I just couldn't leave it as thick as it was. But an interesting experiment, and this is a very clear stone still, so maybe it would have some use. And another lesson learned is that because the window is so big, any flaws on the backside show up pretty readily, and I kind of overcut one of the small facets on the underside that show up readily. Oh wait, maybe this is the top. So this is the top.